idea of, I don't know, I heard the other day, Biden kind of taking a victory lap, like war is good for America because they buy stuff over here and in the state and this state and this. Are they insane? What's your stance on this?
Well, I think what you're seeing right now, Eric, is that weakness from an American president has real consequences. None of this stuff will be happening under President Trump. It didn't happen under President Trump. In fact, Iran was broke, didn't have any money to send to Hamas. Hamas was broke. And you had the Abraham Accords, and peace, had a chance in the Middle East. Unprecedented kind of peace treaties. Jerusalem was established as the capital. A very different time than the time we're living in right now. And part of that, and a big part of that, Eric, is that essentially the oil sanctions are not being enforced. Iran has been enriched by the tune of hundreds of billions of dollars. You talk about the $6 billion that they let go when they for those hostages, which was a huge mistake, and then also a continuation of trying to play nice and footsie with the Iranian regime on restarting their nuclear ambitions. Can you imagine a nuclear Iran right now in the Middle East? So this is a soft on Iran approach. It's caused a lot of this. You also see, Eric, Jack Lew. Who's Jack Lew? Jack Lew, Biden wants to have to be the ambassador to Israel for the United States. He was the Treasury Secretary under Joe Biden and architect of the Iran deal. So any way you slice this, they've been wrong on all of this. And you have to
Senator,
have peace,
I agree with you, Senator.
Of course, we had that under Trump. We don't have it now.
I agree with you. I can't imagine that they're so interested in this JCPOA, which is Iran's basic. It's a roadmap to Iran getting a nuclear bomb and weapon, and God knows they're going to use it for weaponry, not for anything else. So why do the Democrats love the idea of a nuclear-armed Iran so much?
I don't know. They've taken the Democrats have moved away from their what used to be a pretty bipartisan support of Israel. And you see these protests now. You see people talking about, from the river to the sea, Palestine. You see what Iran being the #1 state sponsor of terrorism. Here's what that means. When you talk about being a #1 state sponsor of terrorism, it means that you have these paragliders coming in, machine gunning down teenagers, burning the elderly alive, beheading babies. That's the face of what they've been supporting, which is why we can never allow them to be funded. They're completely funded. They're flush with cash, which is how they've gotten away with it. So this has been a terrible policy. It was under Obama. It is under Biden. We've got to switch course here, actually enforce sanctions, put more sanctions on, and really cripple Iran's ability to fund terrorism.
Final thought on another $30 billion, $15 billion to Israel, another $60 billion going to Ukraine. So I mean, we're in massive $33 trillion in debt. Do we have the money to be doing this stuff?
Well, I think the House is looking at an approach right now, which is to have some paid fors here. But first of all, these are separate issues. So I'm one of these people, and maybe I'm in a minority here among the, even the conservatives here, separating this out. Each one of these debates are different, Eric. They have different realities on the ground. They have different levels of support. They have different likelihoods of success. They have an actual strategy that could be accomplished. We haven't heard any of that on the Ukraine front, right? And I'd hate to see all these other things that may have merit if they're debated individually, dragged down because of Ukraine. Our European allies have not stepped up. There's no accountability. They've not articulated what victory means. So these situations, whether it's Taiwan or Israel or Ukraine or even the border, ought to be debated separately.
Well,
we can make our own decisions.
Senator, I'm glad you brought that up, sir. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. I only have a few seconds, so talk to us a little bit about that border. Now we're hearing there may be terrorists already inside America because of our open border policy by Biden. Final thought.
Yeah, we have an open, porous southern border. We're naive to think there aren't bad people who want to do bad things to this country who aren't already here. We got to do everything we can to close that border. The Biden administration does not do it. It's up to us to force that issue.
Senator Eric Schmitt, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate your time, sir. Very busy man. Thank you.